Hello. How is this all sounding and looking? Can you hear me? Hello, Ruben. No, no. Does it sound okay? Can people hear me? Does it sound okay? Sounds alright on my end. I hear it. Visually, does it look okay? Sweet. Alright, let's set the iPad right there so I can see chat a bit more. Alright, so this took me a long time just to do all of these. These are all pieces of duct tape. Each one of these hexagons is made of two pieces of tape. I had to put two of them together and then and then trace a hexagon over and over and then cut it out and then try to get them to line up properly. That's why if you look real close, there's a bit of a line down the middle of them. Can't really anything I can do to get rid of that. It's just the way the edge of the duct tape is. Trying to get all the bubbles out. I accidentally left it out in the heat too long. It started making the duct tape a little weird. So I'm going to flatten them all out and then I'm going to wipe it down, try to get any dust and hair off, and then coat them in a layer of Mod Podge, which is just a clear protectant seal. Goodness, 11 people watching. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Galactic Bays. Just checking out what everyone's saying right now. 14 watching. How many did we get last stream? What was it closer to 20? Or is 14 the new? Oh my goodness. Hi. You guys upside down? My cats were fighting next to the charger that was holding up the camera and then just decided to knock it over. Thank you guys. Oh, and breaking the charger. Cool. That's supposed to go in here. Uh-oh. All right, this stream ain't gonna be very long. Might have another charger for it. I don't know. You guys need to stop. Curious what that looks like in a playback. Rainbow Cat God, I know, I'm sorry. You guys saw my black cat jump. That's crazy. Actually, my black cat's name is based off of Beyblade. Can you guess? Can you guess what it is? It's something you all should know. At least most newer bladers. Like if you've kept up with it recently. White type? No, no, not Leon. He's tiny and black. Here, I'll put him on the camera. He likes being in the stadium. Ironically, since he's named after a Beyblade. Come here, bud. Come on. Hi, mister. You want to say hi to people? Oh, yeah. Yeah. You interrupting my stream? Yeah. Don't show your butt to the people. They don't want to see that. Oh, you getting feisty? I got the spray bottle, mister. My orange cat's name is Jojo. He's not a Beyblade. He's a JoJo reference. Yeah, I know. The little black one is newer. I found him in a bush at work. Okay. That angle's still okay. All right, I was gonna go look for a charger. I'm gonna take this with me. Oh shit. I don't want the mic to lose connection. That'd be bad. Supersonics fan. Yes, I do still need to add it. I have like half of it. I have literally from like one end to about like here. Uh, I have the material for the rest of it. It's just a matter of making it. I only made half just because I wanted to see and make sure that they could connect properly and that the extreme line was lined up. And for the left spin side, it is beautiful right into the center. The right side is going to take a little bit longer. Not a little bit longer, sorry. It's going to take a little bit more finicking, messing around with once it's actually done. Just because sometimes it goes straight to the center, other times it'll like just come off of the line weird and go like over here randomly, and then also just over here. It's just the way it grips the gears when it shoots off. It just like sends it in a different direction because it grips it slightly longer. Can I play in this stadium like right now? The Moon Sky, hello. Uh, to no, I have way more to do that to finish the stadium. Obviously, I don't want to keep all this orange spiky stuff out. This is just actually I can show you guys. Sorry, I'm not good with tech. I just am using an iPhone and an freaking iPad for streaming right now. Um, well, it's gonna be weird. You guys are gonna see the little mini player of the stream too. Say hello to yourselves. Okay, so this part right here, all this around it is gonna be this dark line. All right, so it goes all the way around, and then I have to add that little detailing. Man, I wish I could make a stadium this big. That'd be cool. Oh my gosh, it's even more trippier watching it. I'll want to do Tyranno beat right before I put a clear coat on. I've done Tyranno beat. He dented it. I know that it jumps. I did Drawn Buster earlier, and it chipped a bunch off of the ridge right here. Well, over here when it tried doing the extreme dash, but okay, I'm going. I know this isn't the right term for it, but sue me. I'm going AFK. Say hi, Jojo. Okay, can you guys still hear me? I am back. I found a new charger. Trim the tape. Oh, up here? Yeah, I'm gluing that down because it overlaps over it, and I don't want the cardboard to be showing. Um, Speaking of, I need to plug in the glue gun to do that. Because every time I tape it over, for whatever reason, silver duct tape is just like the weakest duct tape. Like, I don't know why. It's much thinner than every other like color for whatever reason. Like, I think you can buy a thicker, darker gray duct tape, but it's not the same as the original plain silver one. And I'm sure it's designed that way for a reason. A lot of people call it duct tape, but I'm pretty sure it's duct tape with a T, like for ducks and stuff. But I don't know. I'm going on a tangent. One more thing before I fully start working here. High qual creation. Rainbow Cat God, I've tried them. Some of them glow, not really. It's mostly just like the chips. Um, and some specific ones really glow, especially like this shark edge recolor I have right here. Yeah, that it's mostly just the orange. It's like it, and then when it's spinning, it'd be just kind of like a glowing circle with metal, you know? Correct. How many people have you? How many people have you? How many of you people can launch, like not launch, but like spin a Beyblade on your hand? Like just flick it up and catch it. Also, how many of you can spin one, like just flick it with your hand? Oh, Supersonic fan, my black cat's name is Belial. I got him a year ago, so Red Run when Burst was ending and X was starting. Burst was the generation that I uh, grew up with the most. I was technically alive for Metal Fight, but I was like 3, and when I was getting into Metal Fight, it was like Hasbro's 4D, so it was like Metal Fury, and then the Shogun Steel, which was just. Can you guys calm down? Stop attacking your brother. Um, it wow, it was just bad Metal Fight, so I didn't really get into that. But I did really get into Beyblade Burst. Obviously, it's what made my YouTube channel grow. It's what I fell in love with the what is it, hobby, I guess. Um, well, it's a sport now, right? Beyblade X is a sport, right? Um, there's no color. So Burst is just what I have the most connections with because it was the longest Beyblade season so far. Um, so I decided to name him Belial because he was tiny and black and he hated people. He's still a little demon, just like Belial, right? He's small and black. And then I call him Bell for short, just, you know, another homage to Dynamite Battle. Oh, great. I think my cat's peeing. Nice, JoJo. Bye, Cole. And then one last thing before I actually start working. Um, Look at this ghost I found. Okay, it's electric lime. I haven't seen it. It glows in the dark though. I took a picture of it because when I was coming home, all the lights were off. I was like, "What the heck? Why is it glowing?" So weird. Yeah, it's like, bro, okay, just glows. Do other ghost cans do that? Am I just unaware of this thing that's been like totally happening? Okay, I haven't tried it before, so I'm gonna try it real quick. I don't know what my live streams are at this point. They're so unorganized. It just tastes like their cherry limeade without the cherry. It's just kind of lime. I guess it's like if you combine just the citrus flavor with the limeade instead of the cherry. Maybe a little green appley. Supersonic fan, yes, I have shown him Belial that this is what he's named after. Normally, I show people the Beyblade when I tell people that that's what he's named after. Yes, Ruben, I want to be friends. I want to be friends with all of you guys. Unless you're being mean in the comments. Don't be mean in the comments. Be nice. Remember, keep it friendly. Keep it PG, because I sure as hell don't. um, Rainbow Cat God? Yeah, sure. I believe on the Discord there should be a frick. What's it? A room for 3D files. I believe Slimy added that. What kind of Beyblades do I have? Pretty much all of them. Pretty much every. I guess pretty much everything after GT from Burst. I have dual layers, God layers, Chozy, and other GTs, just not as many, just because that's when I was a bit younger. I didn't have a job yet, wasn't getting paid from YouTube. I have all but a couple Super Kings, pretty much every Dynamite battle except for like super rare ones or surprise ones or whatever. Um, and then currently, other than like just random set recolors and stuff, and Cobalt Drake and other rare get bays, I have every Beyblade X bay. Well, for Hasbro, like Hasbro X or Hasbro Burst. Oh, this is so annoying. I'm having to like wipe it up without trying to like catch any corners. Oh, I hate this. It was terrible. I do also need to redo this turquoise ridge. I need to make it lighter. So I bought a lighter paint to apply, which I was going to do before adding the Mod Podge, actually. Just keep everything less coat. Doesn't make things as thick and chunky. Ultimately, it just looks better the less coats you do. Sometimes I do it specifically as a bulk, like these wall parts. This is cardboard, but I've made it like I've packed it with so much stuff that I wouldn't consider it cardboard. It's like a plaster at this point. And then the duct tape only strengthens it. Okay, y'all want to know the real reason this stadium took so long? These freaking hexagon design. Not hexagon design, checkered pattern design. God damn it. I had to redo it like 8 times. You know how discouraging that is? Every single time it keeps failing. Or when you think you finally got it, you take a look at the reference photo again and you realize it's too small. Bane of my existence. The rails, I ordered the 3D printed extra long ripcords from Noozle 3D. I ordered red ones of those, and then I'm cutting them up and gluing them together. And it's a very long and tedious process, but it ends up looking, other than a little line down the middle where I've connected the two, and some obvious 3D printing like thread stuff. It looks pretty much just like the one from the anime, where it's just kind of a strip of gears. It's not like the like actual official ones that we get in stadiums, where it's like a lip, where it's like a plastic thing shoots off, and then it's just the gears, and then underneath there's nothing. There's not anything like that, and it's not just a bunch of Hasbro cords glued together like I thought I was going to have to do. Do I like Valkyrie? Yes, but I like Spriggan more. Always have. And I'm going AFK real quick just to grab the paints and Mod Podge. And the cats need to calm down. Goodness. Okay, I'm back. What'd I miss? Supersonics, yes. It should be the last stadium I have to make, but unfortunately, I'm making more. Not unfortunately, I like making them. I found these cool clear sheets of like plastic or acrylic, and I'm gonna redo the hybrid stadiums, the big green double decker one from DB. I'm gonna redo that, but with a see-through top level like it's supposed to have. For whatever reason, I just at that time of making it, I just completely forgot that Hobby Lobby is a thing, and just forgot to go look. So, yeah. What was I doing now? Tiny brush. Look, guys, strike hot. And yes, it is actually Strike Hawk. Belly will stop scratching the couch. Or chair. Yes, the stadiums do take up a lot of space, but I keep them in my garage. We don't keep our cars in our garage. We keep all our other stuff in our garage. Hopefully I only have to do one layer of this. No, I'm gonna have to do two. Damn it. Damn. I don't know if this color's dark enough. Let me check the photo. No, actually, that's just about right. You know what I realized? Because of how bright the colors are, especially on the camera and in the sliding, yeah, the stadium looks like the bottom of a pool. At least this portion does. Why would you want to make shot in Beyblade X? What purpose would that do? To just get broken by Cobalt Drake or a Drawn Buster? Just like Shot deserves to. Shot is a garbage driver. It almost ruined the Valkyrie line. Why do you think they had to go back and give it a variable dash? Like how people liked the Awakening gimmick. That's why Takara told me sometimes was afraid to try something new because sometimes it would just ultimately fail and people would be so mad because they try it in the worst ways. Like, by all means, I definitely think the shot driver is a cool concept, but for something to be put on like Valkyrie, no, no. I understand the reboot idea. It was supposed to be something like a DB version of reboot, essentially. Um, but it was just carried out in the wrong way. I would have liked a better version of reboot. Like I really was hoping that the versus set would have come with like better drivers. Like I don't know, give an Ultimate Valkyrie like Ultimate Reboot Dash, but in like a blue color scheme, or Metal Ultimate Reboot, something like that. Ultimate Reboot Metal, where it had metal instead of rubber. I don't know, something like that. Something more than Excel Dash. Like what the heck? What was my point though? Oh yeah, because they put shot on Valkyrie, a lot of people then started to not like Valkyrie and think Valkyrie was really booty because of it. Which, yeah, the Valkyrie One Core wasn't great, at least for attack, because Bound never is, and then they gave it shit teeth. So I don't know what they expected on something that's not a dash driver. Um, but a lot of people just didn't like Savior Valkyrie. They thought it was one of the worst Valkyries because of that, but the blade itself is highly competitive. The core itself was competitive too for a while when it came out. Not used in attack combos, but I've seen 7 used on quite a few combos at some tournaments that I've gone to. 7 armor. Um, but like, it would have been cool if they could have kept pumping out as many Beyblades as, like single, dual, and God Layer days. Chozy started to die down a little bit. Like, there definitely wasn't quite as much or quite as many releases, or at least like unique standing things. We definitely got cool gimmicks with Burst, but it just started releasing fewer and fewer things. Like, literally, I have a wall of all of the Dynamite and BU releases, and it's weird to think that only 24 things released in a year or two. That they were releasing one product a month, which I know Burst was starting to die, but maybe because they stopped putting out as much, Like, Shot would have been a cool gimmick for, oh shoot, what was it? Like a Salamander evolution? That would have been cool. Because Salamander was sort of meant to jump anyways, and then it could like mode change from defense to um, attack mode, just like Operate always did, unintentionally. Or sorry, it went from attack mode to defense mode all the time. Yes, potato, guten Tag. Guten Tag, I don't know. It is your morning, correct? It jumps, yeah. So does Quake. Yes, I'm excited for the 25th anniversary set. The only place I can find it that's selling it is just sellers on eBay. I haven't seen it on any other sites right now. Is it not up for pre-orders yet? Like, is it just like announced, or there no like official launch dates or anything yet? Because typically, once something gets revealed, or like officially revealed, it's pretty much up for pre-order within a day on most Beyblade websites. But like when I try searching for it, it just comes up with the other like the Metal Fight and Plastic Gen remakes for Burst. You guys think Beyblade will make it to 50 years? I hope it does. No, I got paint on the gray. No. I better cut it off. Have you guys all heard the Beyblade X theme song? I would think so, right? What do you guys think of it? Yes, potato. It is my midnight. I don't know why, but I have the song Tequila stuck in my head. You know, bam, 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 bam. Tequila. Bam, bam. So I realize that this isn't really much of a view. Oops. Just kind of my shoulder, my hunched over horrible posture. Put you there, so that really only I can see you. Supersonics fan. I do have Stone Mountain, but I made both of them. I did buy the stickers from them though for them, but actually making the Beyblades and painting them, that was me. And that's my second one. Crimson Cursed Customs, I believe it was. And I think I'm not sure if he was the one who actually designed the stickers. I was a little confused. I think there might have been someone else, um, possibly selling them through him or something. I'm not entirely sure, but credit to them, not me. I'm lost on how to do that. Oh no, hair. Two hairs. There we go. Yes, I am excited for Phoenix Rudder and Leon Crest. I haven't been able to pre-order them though yet, but really, I don't need them until this is done, right? Because that'd be the main. That's the main reason I get the bays when they release, so that I can just have them as soon as possible. I don't attend a lot of tournaments, so I don't really need them. I'm sure. What was it? The glide bit could be pretty competitive. I still think something like ball is going to be better just for pure stamina, just because I think glide is probably going to be a little too loose. It's probably going to move around a little too bit, sort of like your ball, just because of how slick it is and how wide the ball seems to be. And then because of the extra plastic around the palm ball, the palm ball, that's great. Um, Around the palm ball will make it sort of aggressive, just making it go towards the extreme line more. Which I mean, I guess is what they're supposed to do for this season, but I mean this generation. But like, still, you guys ever think that Beyblade X is gonna have a Beyblade that doesn't do the extreme line, one that's designed to not go towards it? a defense type that's just supposed to tank or something. Maybe like towards the end of it. But who knows? We all thought like, oh, it's Beyblade Burst. Why would they ever get rid of the ability to do that? And literally, like, the next two generations released Beyblades with burst prevention. It might not be a X-Bay that just completely um, doesn't use the extreme line, like just doesn't have gears, but one that it's very difficult to, like maybe give it a very low gear count, something like Rush, and then I don't know, you could try like a rubber needle, or not rubber needle, but like a rubber spike, maybe somewhere. Was it Rubber Sharp from Metal Fight? I think. I can picture it, but like I said, I wasn't really into Beyblade during Metal Fight, so I'm not sure. I think it's the ones that released on Cetus. Also, am I the only one who thinks that the Whale Beyblade is just like a Cetus Beyblade, right? Because Left Burst, I saw his little short that he made talking about how the next few releases for Beyblade X are just like homages to Metal Fight. How Leon Crest is a lion themed defense Beyblade that's just Rock Leon or Leon, right? And then a stamina type Phoenix that is just Burn Phoenix, right? If I could make my own Beyblade X, like my own Beyblade, right? Um, Probably a balance type. I like balance types with a tip similar to Point, I guess. I would do something similar to the shape of like Defense Sharp, like on Hell Kerbex, where it's like a spike surrounded by like a shaft or tube that it can like counter with. And obviously, it'd be lower. It'd look a bit more like the Unite bit, but with instead of just being a little dot in the middle of it, it'd be like actually something. Maybe make that metal or rubber. I think something else that Beyblade X could do further down the line to like, I guess not like super power creep, but to, increase the power of the Beyblades is honestly make them heavier. They won't be able to do extreme dashes as fast or as well if you make them too heavy, right? But I think they'll eventually just make heavier and heavier ones, just at least around the weight of the like good heavy 40 bays, right? And I just put my elbow in the paint. Cool. But I think they could do like metal shaft bits, or like the part that you actually stick into the ratchet and blade, the part that has, what the ring making it tighter or not. You could make that part just metal, right? It'd make them heavier, and then you could still have the plastic gears, so you wouldn't have to worry about it damaging your extreme line or anything like that. Because that's the other thing. If we made like metal gears, like I know, what was it? People 3D print metal bits already and all that, but I feel like 3D printing metal is way different from like actual cast and molded stuff, because I feel like it'd be a bit weaker if it's 3D printed because it's like layered and melted together, right? If I'm understanding how that's being made properly. That's just essentially how a 3D printer works. Um, what was I saying? But yeah, so I'd want a balance type with a bit that had some sort of other material on it. Um, I'd want it to have a mid burst resistance. So I can't be the only one who thinks that defense types need like a mid burst resistance, right? Like not as much as attack and balance bits, but like more than stamina bits, you know? At least certain ones. I mean, I get that they are just kind of stamina too, because the needle on it on certain combos can be just really good. But I think like a little bit more burst resistance wouldn't hurt, right? Like especially needles, because all the needle bits just tilt, exposing the ratchet. Like basically, you knock needle off its center, it's gonna take a lot for it to get back up. Hi, K man. Tequila. It's still stuck in my head. Yeah, creating a ball shape for stadiums is really difficult. That's why I had a hard time with the Aether Stadium, was because I just didn't have anything that could, at least not anything big enough that could accurately give me the results I wanted. Like I have like a really ovular, um, shoot, a really ovular satellite dish that I originally wanted to use for the Aether Stadium, and I got a rough like uh, layout of the redirects, the blue like redirections, and the upper deck on it, and it didn't really work like at all. At least not proportion wise, and then the way the bays hit it and moved just didn't work. It was too short, like small in comparison to the I almost called it the Tetris Stadium, the Tetra Stadium. So I just decided to try to make it from scratch, which took like 2 or 3 attempts. And even now, I'm still not too thrilled with how it turned out. I just settled. and said that it'll be dark, the lights will be off, it'll be kind of difficult to see, right? But that's why the bays move sort of weirdly, and why it kind of has those lines in it, because it just is cut weirdly and put together. Yes, potato, silence then tequila. That is how my brain works normally. It'll be totally fine and totally quiet. We'll be chilling and focusing, and it'll be like, dude, you remember cheese? Yeah, cheese is good. Man, I want to grill cheese. Literally, last night I pulled an all nighter just so you guys know. Like I'm up. Uh, I got 30 minutes of sleep last night. I guess this morning before I went to work. I'm a little burnt out, which is why I'm not doing a whole lot right now. Just kind of painting. Um, but yeah, no, I kept getting distracted when I was working on these. Like, it really does not take long to do the things that I did. Um, like, I even like started watching, like, counting the actual time it took me when I was actually working on it. This side right here, it does. It's one of the shorter ends. These two are longer, right, and these two are a bit shorter. Um, it does have the least amount of hexagons, but I was really focusing on it because it was already getting close for me to have to go to work, and I wanted to take a nap. So I was trying to hurry, and I was paying attention, and it took me like maybe 30 minutes to 45 minutes. Like, it really did not take long. I did not have to do an all-nighter. I just kept getting distracted. I was trying to get the Japanese Beyblade X app, which I eventually succeeded in doing. Um, because I have like a year's worth of codes that I want to use, but I'd have to use the Hong Kong version because all of my Beyblades are the Play, or not the Play Asia. Is it Play Asia? I don't know. The those versions. I believe they're still the authentic Takara Japanese ones. Just they're like sold in Hong Kong because the I'm pretty sure the text on it is Japanese. Like, it looks the exact same as other boxes, so I believe it's the same. I don't remember what they're called. I want to say kanji, but that sounds wrong. Um, the symbols. But I have to use that for all my codes. But the stupid thing is that I ordered my Bay Logger on eBay directly from Japan. Not my Bay Logger. I keep calling it a Bay Logger. My Bay Battle Pass. Ordered that directly from Japan on eBay, or at least a Japan seller. And so that one is the only code that is like actually the Japanese one. So, which is kind of lame because I can't fully like access the Bay Battle Pass stuff without it. Um, I think there's like a little bonus or something you can get because of that, but I can't because I don't. The code for it isn't compatible for whatever reason. They do different codes for the different like versions, so really pay attention if you do successfully get the app. Really check your bays first and pay attention so you know, or at least your bay boxes, because those will have all your codes on them unless you've been cutting them off and saving them. Except for random boosters. Random boosters, those are in the instruction packets. And the random selects, I believe. But those will um sorry. Wow. Yeah, because I had to uninstall the app and then go back and select it because for whatever reason the apps aren't compatible in each other's versions. and the Hong Kong one, which is the one I got because unfortunately that's the one I have all the codes for, which is going to give me another complicated thing, isn't even like as far updated as the official one. So the sorry, I got distracted by chat. The yeah, for whatever reason, the Hong Kong version of the same app isn't updated as far like everyone else for their rare bay get battles. They're using Drawn Buster against Hell's Hammer. I'm using Drawn Sword versus Hell's Scythe, which is kind of annoying. Just because it's like I want to use the cool new Beyblades, and I can't. But it still works. I still get points. I've won 4 gold Leon claws. It's ridiculous. I don't need that many. I won 1 gold Hell Scythe. I still need to figure out a way for me to get them in the States. Because I know that's one of the complications. And I don't know how much shipping for like 5 Beyblades would be. Because those ones come in actual boxes, don't they? They come in like B00 boxes. So it's just like a normal Beyblade box, but gray. Um, I don't even know. I don't even know anyone in like Hong Kong. How am I supposed to get it over here? I need to. What's the best way to make friends internationally, you guys? Does anyone know anyone that they could hook me up with? Yeah, you have to get an extreme finish. I keep getting burst finishes. I have like 5 purchase tickets, which is cool, but I don't know how to get it shipped to me. And also, I don't know if the Japanese version does it, but the Hong Kong version doesn't really walk you through what you have to do. I had my other phone and I was using Google Translate on it, right? To look, and obviously it's going to be broken English, but because it's like not fully accurate and phrases mean different things in different languages, but the it's just I I was like, okay, it's not explaining what to do. It just says here's what you have to do. You have to battle and win, and you can get prizes. I was like, okay, and then just threw me into it like nothing. You just have to figure it out yourself. Like the timer just instantly starts ticking. Doesn't hold my hand at all. So I'm like trying to do research over here, like a nerd about a game that isn't super common or playable. It's great. Yeah. Rainbow Cat God, that would be very appreciated. Because I know like the Portal Zero you can, but isn't that through like you have to set your region on the app for Taiwan or something? I think I watched Kimbo Slice's video on it. I just kind of skimmed through it because I was looking for a different answer, but or I was looking for an answer to a different question. But you have to get everything perfect to get the extreme finish. So like a perfect launch, and then you have to get like a great first and a great second attack, and then an X dash. And then you have to get the rainbow background right. But I watched Illinux's video and he didn't get everything perfect, and he got Cobalt Drake too. I think he got like sort of like a mid launch power, and then like I don't even think it glowed blue. I think it was like first attack, and then he got X dash with a rainbow background. I could be forgetting, but I tried seeing to see. I was like, okay, what exactly needs to happen for it to mean that? What has does it have to be different depending on if you get Leon Claw or Hell's Scythe because or Hell's Chain either too? The black and green Hell's Chain. Maybe that one's not available for the Hong Kong, which means I have more time to get Cobalt Drake possibly. That'd be cool. Because I really, really want Cobalt Drake, and I just can't justify spending $300 to $200 on one Beyblade. That's just gonna get so damaged so quick. It's gonna lose everything that makes it valuable after 2 battles. I mean, I know you could find some for cheaper, but I haven't. Yes, I did think of that. That's why I made sure to make this gray ridge. It looks bad right now because the tape is coming up, but I'm gonna glue it down in a sec. Um, what was it? Then the bays hit it. I've done multiple battles. They fly out a bit, obviously because of that, but they do that in the anime. It's an anime stadium. I'm not gonna sacrifice accuracy for safety of the bays. I will obviously I care if they get damaged. I don't want them to get damaged, especially my prize bays. But I'll just put down rubber mats, like at a gym or something. I'll just put those under the stadium, or one in like each pocket of where it would fly out. But dude, the test battles I've done, even without an extreme line, the impact is insane just for normally redirecting. It's crazy. I had one almost hit me in the face this morning. Um, I don't think they would get a speed boost. I think they would actually slow down. There'd be a lot of friction all over. They might move fast for a bit, at least attack types maybe, but I don't think they'd spin very long. That's why there's a big controversy with rubber tips or rubber bits for Beyblade X, because a lot of people think that it just wouldn't glide as fast. Like, yeah, it moves fast. Like, they can flower faster, but in an X stadium, flowering isn't really a strategy. Um, so it's just not really needed. It's like you tilt launch not to do a flower pattern. You tilt launch as just like to change the trajectory or just to counter an insta burst or something like that, right? But they don't. I've seen some videos of custom rubber flats for rubber flat bits. They just they hit the line, and because the rubber on the bottom is there, it kind of acts like a brake, you know? Like if you were to like take this paintbrush and rub it back and forth like this, it'd be very easy. If you were to take the eraser side of a pencil and do that, it'd be a lot harder. Now imagine you're moving at very fast speeds and your tip is made of rubber. You'd be slowing down, even though, yeah, you could potentially counteract it and still move fast. Um, but it'd have to be pretty hard rubber, or else it's gonna wear out really fast. Like if it's as soft as just like extreme drivers from Burst, at least the most average extreme drivers, that's wearing out after like a month of just like what's the word? Moderate use. At least that's what it looked like from the videos I saw. It just looked like it moved aggressively and fast, like sweeping motions. Obviously, like a rush launch, but as far as like hitting the extreme dash and actually moving, it just lost spin. Yes, potato. It would make them move like around in the stadium a bit faster, but they'd lose a lot of spin, and then on the extreme line, it'd just make them slow. It's like when you go like on hardwood floors in your socks and you run and you slide on your socks, you move real nice. Um, and then if you try doing it with shoes on, you just fall because you get stopped. Hi, Ruben. I know in the anniversary set they are all but Bronze Sword have Rubber Excel. Um, I don't know, until we can see them like in action. I don't know how they're gonna perform. Unless the rubber is like the hardness rubber from the Zeal and Explosion drivers from Burst from Helios. You can't see that box. I pointed at the box of the uh, Helios and Hyperion Deluxe set. But those drivers had pretty hard rubber. So much so that Explosion could be rounded and awakened into like a rubber ball almost with a free spin disc. I've seen it used as a defensive combo or sort of aggressive defensive combo. But the only reason it got rounded out really easily was because of the star shape it had. Zeal wore a bit and then it hasn't worn past that point, and that took a lot of use too. Um, so if they made them about that, it'd be aggressive enough to where it'd be definitely like a difference between that and normal Excel, and I think an extreme line wouldn't really affect it. Like, well, not affect it. slow it down as much. I don't know if an opposite-sided cyclone would be called spiral. It might just be something different. Metal Excel was what I was expecting. I was expecting something more interesting. Honestly, we've gotten two bits with different materials on them now. We have metal needle and then glide, and that's it, right? Going through them all, I don't think so. I think that's it. Yeah, and the type of metal on metal needle doesn't have a lot of friction, at least like the polish on it. Um, so that as a flat would be really nice. I'd like to see a metal rush. I think just stuff like that is a little hard with how they've designed the bits because the bits are separate pieces. I mean, clearly they did metal needle and it worked just fine, so they could just do something similar for metal excel and metal flat. Honestly, I thought Cobalt Dragoon was going to have metal flat or metal excel or something. I wasn't expecting it to have cyclone. The cyclone is just kind of stupid. I don't really like it. It does like two extreme dashes and then it just gets stuck in the inner circle and just kind of tornado stalls like a cyclone. Go figures. I was never a big fan of Spiral in Burst either. I didn't get into Burst until Hasbro Dual Air, so like God for TT. So by that point, Spiral just was not really relevant. Everyone was using Destroy and Addiction. I need to go over there. Hello, awesome dude. Yes, 260 is pretty bad. Literally, I was battling my friend, and I knocked him into the pocket, and then the recoil from that sent me over into the towards the extreme line, and my ratchet just hit it, and I just burst. Like literally, I had won, and then I felt so betrayed. It didn't feel like I won. I was like, oh, okay. Like it didn't even hit it hard. Like it just kind of bounced back towards it. You know, like when X-Bays just kind of do that like skip thing they do between the extreme line. It just went boom, boop, boop, and burst. 280 might be better because it's taller. I haven't really messed with 260 on right spin yet, though. I've only used it on Dragoon. Haven't really had time for testing. Ruben, which Hasbro Helios do you have, though? because only the one for Quad Strike was supposed to glow. And even then, it was only a couple of yellow spots on the side. Because Helios Blazebringer won't glow at all. And Comet Helios might. Or, sorry, not Comet Helios. Colossal Helios might. But Comet Helios is the one I'm thinking of. That one on the core should have some yellowish green spots that should glow. But not underneath LED lights. It needs to be black light. They don't glow in the dark, they just light up. It's fluorescence, I believe. It's kind of, fluorescence, I think, is kind of what like makes neon things neon. Like makes them that extra bright, vibrant color. Comet Helios? Okay. Yeah, it should light up underneath black light. It shouldn't glow like by itself though, like in no light. Rainbow Cat, for shot, did you combine it with the ratchet? Or is it a bit itself? Okay. I'm going to let that dry for a moment before putting on another coat. And while we do that, or while I do that, I'm gonna try gluing down the tape. Where am I gonna add the gears? Pretty much the very last, like out of everything. because I want to keep them as pristine as possible. If something goes wrong, I don't want those getting damaged because they take so long in comparison to everything else. Everything else can either be covered up with paint or just glued on, like pretty easy fixes. Those have to be like built, like had done, cut out, resculpted, like not sculpted, but they're 3D printed, and I have to modify them because of what they are 3D printed from. Okay, come on. There is a piece of green on my leg right there. We go. I got it. Don't burn yourself, Jake. Come on. Come on, Jacob, you can do it. Ow. I didn't do it. I got myself. It has to be put on the ratchet to work? What? Okay. My favorite plastic dren. Whoa, I said plastic dren. Plastic gen pay is oh shoot, which I think it's Dragoon GT Gigs Turbo. Um, I just like the way the blades are shaped on that one, and then the color of it too is just really nice. What is that? What's my neighbor's light? ADHD mode activated. Um, and then for Metal Fight, I like Earth Aquila and Galaxy Pegasus. Ray Unicorno is pretty cool too. Mostly because of the CS tip. And the turquoise is a nice color, but I like the way Galaxy looks more. And then for Burst, I like the Spriggan line. Um, of all of them, probably Legend or Storm, one of the earlier ones. I like Lord Spriggan a lot. I remember getting Lord Spriggan and being so happy. Like so excited because I got him and I got the triple set that Lord Spriggan came with and then Slash Valkyrie. Those were some of my, I think that was like my second wave of DB bays. I think my first one was just like Venom Diabolos. That was pretty cool. I like the Achilles line as well, and obviously Valkyrie, but I wasn't a huge fan of the Achilles line when it first was like announced. I was like, oh, it's fun to think about. Obviously, um, I was a little confused, like everyone was. We're like, oh, it's not going to be both again. Okay, um, but I grew to like the Aga and Achilles a lot. Obviously, as the season progressed, I did like what they did in Josie and Turbo, where they make him sort of out to be like sort of starting to turn evil, right? Like that was a cool concept. And then how he just does a complete 180. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna whoop Fi's ass right now. And then goes Super Saiyan 2. That was sick. And then I just like how he was portrayed in the GT and Super King as well. Those were just nice ways to see him. Quad Strike could have obviously been better. And then for X, I don't know, probably Drawn Dagger. Drawn Dagger, Hell's Chain. I like those because they're more complex than the original Drawn Sword and Hell's Scythe, but they're like not as like overly like powerful and complex like Hammer and Buster. You know, if that makes sense. They're a nice middle ground. Sort of like from between Plastic Gen, not sorry, Plastic Gen, single layers and dual layers to God layers. You know, where like the God layers are a nice middle ground where it's like, oh wow, like you know, it has a bit more going on. It's complex, but it's not like insanely powerful. Like you know, I don't know, Rage Longinus. The other bay was Whale Wave, I believe. Is it a normal whale or is it like a narwhal? I can't. A narwhal. A narwhal. I forget. I'm trying to look. Yeah, it's Whale Wave. But it has a horn, right? Like I'm not crazy. It does have a horn. Well, of course, now that I watched like one video on it, I'm not getting anything on it on YouTube. I guess I could just search. Yeah, it has a horn, but it's just called normal whale. Okay. Hey, Taco. Appreciate you stopping by. Have a good night. Well, I'm waiting for paint to dry and trying not to burn my fingers on hot glue. There's a Christmas tourney? Probably. Normally I have to plan stuff pretty far ahead. Work, man, and then in between work and YouTube, not a whole lot of free time. I mean, yeah, Beyblade, I still get to do Beyblade and it's enjoyable, but I don't get to play with the Beyblades as much when I'm working on this. It's once I'm done with this, then we get to play with them. Yes, my cats are sleeping right now, and me crinkling the duct tape wrapper woke them up. Yes, it would. And if it's an X tournament, Tuck Wolf, I could bring this stadium when it's done because it should be done by then. Oh dang! Random parts. I feel like right now for X, most parts are pretty equal. Obviously, there's the limited format, but the chances of someone getting all those would probably be pretty like low. But really, the only thing that you could really get kind of effed over for would be Quake. Quake and like Spike. Maybe Rhino Horn. But pretty much, or I guess Shinobi Shadow too. But pretty much everything else would be fine. A good combo on Shinobi Shadow could be fine. Like if you wanted to do like a tornado, like not wanted to do, but if it got set up on something to do like tornado stalling, like on Cyclone or something, that wouldn't be too bad. My favorite Beyblade. I just said this. Plastic Gen, Dragoon GT, Metal Fight, Earth Aquila, and Galaxy Pegasus. And then Burst is Spriggan, Achilles, and Valkyrie. Those ones are just ones that I really liked for the whole entirety of Burst. I think a lot of the Burst motifs are just cool. The ones that I really don't like for Burst, Gaia. I don't really like Gaia. Quetzalcoatl was cool, but eh. At least just how it was portrayed as the Beyblade. And then I wasn't really a huge fan of the Kirbyus or Ragnarok line. Like they definitely got cooler, and I got more interested in them. But it's not like ooh that one, you know. And then for X, it's Hell's Chain and Drawn Dagger. Shinobi Shadow 360 Dot. Okay, but for my testing, Dot is decent until it starts leaning. Like the second it tilts, it dies. It's just stuck on one little dot because of how sharp they made the angle of it. It needed to be more like high needle where it's a bit not as steep of a slope, but they didn't do that. So who whoop de frickin' do. I need to glue these on. There goes my glue gun. I almost had the dumb idea of trying to catch it. I realized where my hand was. I was going to grab the hot tip of it. Oh, force them to use good parts? Okay, what do you mean garbage decks? I haven't looked into the competitive side of X too much. I really only know about the limited parts, and that's it. I know it's basically Cobalt, Phoenix Wing, and Rod are basically limited layers, and then 9 and 860, I think, are also limited ratchets, and then bits are ball and orb, right? Those ones you are also limited. Yeah, I'd be down for trying things, though, custom like parts and stuff in big stadiums if you guys wanted to see how it performed. The only thing is, I personally don't have a 3D printer. I have a friend who has quite a lot, so I'm sure he'd just let me print it out there or just print it for me. But I've been thinking about trying to open a PO box for some people to send me stuff. Uh, I don't know. Not shot. Yeah, I don't want shot. Shot and X is scary. Dude, Tyranno Beat is going to be terrifying. I'm scared because when the stadium's on the ground, the way the slope of the walls, it's like right at like knees up area. It's it'll either break your kneecap or go into your crotch, and it's not gonna be a fun time. And then Tyranno jumps, just Buster on Excel, stock Buster. It was like it leaned and it was hopping over, like it was going like up. I was like, okay, buddy. And then I posted on the Discord a quick video of Tyranno jumping. That wasn't the best one that I got, like the best jump I had gotten. Like it had gotten way higher than that, but oh man, definitely going to be interesting. So am I. I mean, I guess I have seen it in action, but the I am excited to see it fully in action because I haven't tried it with a full extreme line yet. I've only done half just to make sure that they're lined up properly. I once I got Cobalt, I tried the left spin side, um, and it is lined up good, which is nice because I had to jimmy rig it left spin burst bay with an X bit to try to line it up before. So it's good to know that it was right and I wasn't off. Yes, I have. That's why I was up so late last night. I literally pulled an all-nighter Tuck Wolf because I was putting on all these stupid hexagons, but I kept getting distracted and playing with drawn sword. I kept just launching it and just watching it spin, and then I would put in a Strike Hawk. I made a custom Strike Hawk. Yeah. This one is the bad one though. Like that, I painted the low flat. I have one that looks way better. Um, this one is gonna get destroyed later for another video. Um, but I was having it in that, and then I was also having it go against just stock Wizard Arrow. And then I made a custom rubber ball bit. I just took a like busted taper bit that I had that got really dented, and just kind of coated that in hot glue, let it dry, and then you got a rubber ball. And I wanted to test out like the impact of drawn buster, so I like almost 100% launched drawn buster into it, and it like barely moved. I was using my really worn drawn sword on it just because that's what I had near me. Um, and I kept doing a battle between that because it just sits still in the middle and it's rubber, so it has a lot more friction. And I wanted to see if it could get an extreme dash. It flew about, I guess that's almost off screen, at least high from the stadium as an extreme finish. I guess it's on this end, huh? Should be like up to here. I've also been thinking about when it's done doing different camera angles for videos instead of just the one. How about setting one up right here, kind of looking into the stadium, but so that when a bay gets extreme finished, it like goes like right over it. You know? Or maybe it'd have to be a side profile type thing. Oh, size comparison to X Bay. This is Wizard Rod, but it's Strike Hawk. Yeah. I can fit a whole X stadium in there. Like, much bigger. What's also nice is that in the anime, some of the bays do use these. I consider them kind of walls, but also like part of the stadium, you know? Um, but they do actually use it. Like I've had in some testings when I was testing the right side of the extreme line, I had drawn sword. I launched it and it went up on this part and did like 2 or 3 circles around, and then it fell down like here and linked to the extreme line and then did an extreme dash. It was so sick. It like went all the way around into an extreme dash. It was beautiful. I wish I had gotten it on video. But before I had these things on it, it just flew out. These definitely helped them from flying out, which is nice. Rubber ball would be peak. I want like a rubber spike. That'd be really good for defense. I also think Tuck Wolf that they should have defense bits should have a mid resistance. More than stamina, but not as much as attack. But have a good night. I make my stadium. This part is a sled. Everything else is cardboard and paint. I know it doesn't really sound like it. It's got like plaster and stuff on it. Guys, I've been up too late. I keep forgetting I have my iPad here, and I keep like hearing voices or thinking I'm hearing voices, but it's just the iPad. I should probably go though. Yeah, I'm gonna finish gluing these little things on, and then I'm gonna go. My mic is dying, anyways. Oh, for a Tetris stadium, uh, I don't really know good advice for that. Just really measure out the corners where they meet. If you look on my stadium, the little part where they fall from the top deck into the lower blue area from the lime green area, uh, just you want to be sure that those when they fall out of that, like if they hit that ridge, that they can take it and they line up with the center, essentially like what an extreme line does. Um, which I was thinking about that the other day. How the last two quad strike stadiums were kind of early versions of an X stadium. They both had things that they'd go and hit and then redirect towards the center. But that is an important one. I've made sure to have a ridge that would catch quad strike drivers at the very end of that lime green circle, basically the other half of the stadium, so that when they hit it, they could just take it sort of like an extreme line and just redirect. And there should be some good clips of it happening in quite a few of my videos. I didn't intentionally do it. I just did it. I was like, and then this should work, and then it just worked beautifully. Um, I, I wouldn't necessarily call it failing upwards, but it worked. It wasn't planned, but it also could have been better, you know? Oh, I'm sure some could. I'm excited to try to get like an infinite extreme dash. I really want to try getting that on camera with drawn dagger because that would be sick. Um, but I don't know if I could do that because they hit it and they just because they have so much more force because there's so many more gears now. Because you have to remember like gear multiplication. Like technically the bay is losing spin, but it is like trying to climb and gain speed. So it should be moving a lot faster with more gears, right? That's kind of what the idea of the Excel bit is, right? That when they fly off of the extreme line, just from testings, they fly off and hit it and just bounce up. Like I have a clip of Cobalt Drake just bouncing straight up after hitting it. No, I don't have tutorials on how to make most of the stadiums. I have one on how to make the standard DB stadium, just because that's a pretty basic one. A lot of the times, I don't know what I'm doing. I just try methods and see what happens. It isn't. It just wouldn't be easy for me to make a good and not too long video. Like I've been working on this stadium in specific for about 6 months. At least that's like the actual time dilation. As far as like actual time and effort put into it isn't exactly 6 months. A lot of the times I don't get home late or don't get home till late, and then I'm exhausted and just go to bed. Uh, so it just kind of sits for a few days sometimes. Sometimes I'm just burnt out. Especially after having to redo one step over and over, it really burnt me out and made my motivation to want to do this really bad. It was just like, it's just going to fail again. I can try this. I don't know what's wrong or why it's failing, but that could sort of work, Rainbow Cloud. I don't, that'd have to be a really weird shaped stadium, though. It'd have to sort of look like a dog bone, if that makes sense. Like it'd have, I mean, I just have my dog's bone. It'd just be like the middle area, and then in order to make like extreme lines that the Beyblades would like hit pretty well and actually travel as like a rail, like a big area to move. And then because Beyblade X rails go into the center, it'd just be like going out really far and then coming back in on both ends, and then on the other end as well, like in Turbo. But then because of that, it would just like, I don't know. It wouldn't leave it much room for them to link on. It'd be like here and then here if I did it on both ends. And then if you could say like, oh, just do it on one side, but there's not really much point in having it do that. You can maybe try making it where it like goes up something and then goes down, like on up to a deck and then crashes down. That might be kind of cool. See, like so many people have asked me to make the rail stadium from Chozetsu, but I know how my bays work in my stadiums. They wouldn't hit the rails. It just wouldn't. They'd hardly ever do it, and even when they did, they wouldn't have enough power. Or yeah, it just wouldn't work too well with um how small. At least making one that is true to the Chozetsu Stadium. I'm sure I could make one of my own design that would work, but in order to make it like the anime Chozetsu Rail Stadium, it wouldn't look like that. First off, the stadium couldn't be super sloped; it'd have to be a lot flatter, like this one. And then I couldn't have the walls set up the same way they are. The on the Chozetsu Stadium, it has four little outs, and let me tell you, they hardly ever go out that. And then that's not because of the steepness of the stadium or anything. I mean, it's a little bit that, but it's just like they don't ever get lined up to do that. Even if it was flatter, the the chances of a Beyblade getting lined up perfectly with enough momentum in between two walls to go onto a line and then make it all the way back around to the other side without falling would be very slim. Especially Chozetsu bays, which are just super unbalanced. Imagine that trying to spin on something like this thin. Yeah, Beyblade X might work, but at the same time, I am a little concerned that too much gear line would waste too much spin. So it'd just be like, oh, it could go around a lot farther, but what would really be the point? Like, yeah, it moves faster physically, I think, but it loses spin, you know, friction. Exactly, potato. They'd just hit the wall and ricochet. They wouldn't hit the rail. Let me see if I can find that video of Dragoon jumping. Well, here's an example. See if this will focus. You guys see that? It hit the line and then went up into the air and then back again and then jumped more. I think there's another time it did it and it went way higher. Hmm. Well, yeah, I know your real name, but I'm not going to give out your real name on the internet. Okay, well, that was just like a cool hit. Can you guys hear me? Yeah, okay. My earbud, which is what I'm using as a microphone, is about to die, so I'm probably going to end the stream soon. But let's look at this. Focus, camera. Maybe. I just loved those hits. They're so fierce. And then they just kind of chill. But it should be really cool. Defense type doing extreme dash? No, but I have seen Wizard Arrow do one. I think I'm gonna go now, guys. I glued on my last few things. I'm gonna end the stream before my mic dies. Hope you guys all have a great rest of your day or evening. It is evening for me. It is almost 2 a.m. I'm glad you guys are looking forward to it as much as I am. I'm hoping it turns out well. Before going, use Wyvern Gale. Why use Wyvern Gale? Why Wyvern Gale in specific? Because you don't know. I'll just get something with Gear Ball. Oh, I might regret this. Night Lance 580 Gear Ball. Tyranno beat 460 quick. Tyranno, please don't break it. Please no. Oh, and a burst. Nice. Alright, now I'm in the stream. Bye, everyone. Hopefully, the next time you guys hear from me, or at least get a video from me, it will be either an Aether Stadium video as a filler, or this actually done. Okay, I will launch Hell's Hammer just once. I'm sure it could do an extreme dash if I launched it hard enough. I am wanting to get the stadium done by August 15th. Or, sorry, not 15th. 21st. 15th is the day I have plans, so I can't work on it on the 15th. That's what I was remembering. All right, bye everyone. Bye, potato. All right. I'll worship the Hell's Hammer. Bye, Noodle. And bye bye, everyone else. Thank you for watching, and thank you, everyone else who is watching afterwards. Hope you guys enjoyed. Just kind of chill. Bye bye.